dude.
Yes, boy!
Yes, boy!
Yes, boy!
Yes, boy!
Yes, boy!
Yes, boy!
Yo, what's poppin', all my peeps? It is I, your host with the most, Renaissance man who always thinks he can, and your champion of the peeps, Patty Pitts, back in the yard of streams for another edition of Pitts and Sara's Wrestling Show, where we take no nights off. And it's not just me, Patty P, here in the yard of streams. I am joined, as always, by the best of the West you can't forget about, Sara Marshall. What's poppin', girl?
Hey, yo!
Hello.
What's going on?
I still have a little bit of a weird voice.
You
so.
do. You sound like you have noobs for breakfast.
Yeah, well,
That's
it is what it
sick
is.
life.
Yeah.
That's sick life.
It
You
sounds
mentioned- go.
worse than I feel, which is good.
Well, honestly, that's what you want. You'd rather it be on the bad side, in that way.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking this before. You mentioned this before Hit Live about how stupid the song lyrics are.
Oh yeah.
Pocketful Sunshine, but like those songs like that are so It's never mind. I had a point there. It's gone.
Okay.
It's gone. I'm not kidding you. It's been a wild day, Sara. I've driven up and down the state of Massachusetts, and finally have calmed down and relaxed as we sit here in the yard of streams and talk wrestling
Mm-hmm.
because shit's good right now. All right, it's really good. We obviously Netflix. We talked about that on Tuesday. Go check out clips from that, or if you want to watch the whole stream, go check that out.
There are people who do that, which is pretty cool.
That is really cool. I like that. I like to hear that. So if you want to be like those cool people, go check out what we said about Raw on the Raw Rewind. Why they hit the subscribe button? Just hit it. You're going there anyways. And NXT was fantastic. A wild twist that I didn't expect that ending. We didn't expect a certain someone to be there anyways.
Yeah.
But they showed up. And then Dynamite was good. All right. I know the ratings don't show that because NXT killed them. But Dynamite was really good. SRS even said it. They've had 3 consecutive weeks of good television. And it's not just 3 random weeks. It's great build to a pay-per-view or PLE in Australia for Grand Slam. Like any TNA, you can talk about them, but we have a show to do. Like, there it is. Crazy shit, is going on right now. So it's a great time to be a wrestling fan.
Yeah.
With Mania, the world, we're talking about our plans. I'm just excited to actually be doing stuff and hanging out 24/7.
Because we got our tickets. We got our tickets to the shows.
The shows.
Mm-hmm.
But not only that, I'm more meaning like I am excited that we can that I'll be spending 100% of my time with a wrestling fan. Like we'll be doing wrestling stuff. You know what I mean? It won't be 40 minutes away in the drive and all that. It'll be a little bit of a different experience from last year. And last year was a hell of an experience. I'm not kidding you. I think that's up there for a top 3 trip of all time.
Yeah.
Like seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
well, and then this year will be interesting because it's like in Vegas, so and the time difference is a huge factor because everything's earlier, so you're not like leaving a show at 11 trying to get home and whatever, like we won't know how we feel, obviously. Like I'm not saying after Mania night 1, even though we're not going, but like that we're gonna be like,
No,
let's go
you get it,
party at
yeah.
8 p.m. You know what I mean? Like we might be tired, but that we
That's
have the option.
I will say, Sarah, there's many forms of pits, and one of them is party pits.
Okay, well,
You experienced that at Wale a little bit.
yeah, you'll have to bear with me because I am a grandma. So
We're gonna break you out of that shell.
I guess
We're
we'll
gonna,
see.
we're gonna you're gonna break you out of that shell like the gobbledygooker, okay? Just shout out Hector Guerrero. While we give a shout out to him, let's give a shout out to the peeps in the chat. Sophia is here. Wasn't expecting Tom
Hi.
Brady to be commentating for this here Super Bowl
I
last
knew.
Sunday, and also my boyfriend and I were jokingly had some jokes about the Chiefs. Yeah, we had a lot.
I've had to refrain from like still talking about it because I just want to be like F the Chiefs, F Patrick Mahomes, F Travis Kelce, F these GOAT conversations. Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski all the way. Sorry.
I go the opposite way, and I'm just happy for the Eagles fans.
Well,
Like
see, but that's
I
you have like, you know, a lot of friends in Philly and stuff. Like I have no affiliation with them.
true.
Like, and actually, I still hate the Eagles from Super Bowl 52.
Yeah, listen. All right, let's think of it like a wrestling trilogy. All right, we got Patriots 1, match 1, Eagles 1, match 2. We need to see a grudge match in the next few years.
But it's not the
I want to see
same.
it.
It's not the same.
It's different but better, Sarah.
No,
It's different and
whatever.
better.
Whatever.
Nathaniel saw the Lakers lost last night.
Oh.
You think they're gonna win over the Knicks?
Hey, we just beat the Knicks. Celtics just beat the Knicks. Right? We did. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what we call something in the nonsense galaxy, Nathaniel.
I mean, the Lakers could become like a big deal with Luka. We'll just have to see how Luka and LeBron work together.
Crazy how they traded him.
Yeah.
What's up, Jay Bernard? What's up? Good luck in your man game if you haven't played already, Bernard. I lost to the computer, so you know what? Sometimes champions lose. I'm trying to look more. What's up, Aaron? Oh, hold on. Before I get to Aaron, Bernard just wishes you the best.
Thank you.
There we go, Aaron. What's up? How you doing? Happy Thursday to you, pal. Day was crazy. Thank you for hoping it went well, but it was craziness. All right, it's what happens when you're the captain of all things nonsensical. Yeah, I mean, Sarah, your day.
How was my day?
Yeah, how was your day?
It was fine. Like, I mean, there's not a whole lot going on in football right now, you know. So
no,
well, at least not for the Patriots. Otherwise, just enjoying the downfall of the Jets. So
you should cover our Madden League because Bernard has a playoff spot. I don't, which is bullshit. All right. That's what happens when you have Anthony Richardson as your quarterback. Maybe he's not that guy.
Yeah.
Maybe he's not that guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. We don't have 2 yet, but we're gonna find out what 2 is after we talk about.
Don't be a lemon, be a rosebud.
Don't be a lemon, Sarah. Be a rosebud. Time for our rosebuds and lemons, our favorite and least favorite things of the week. And I'll let you start off, Sarah, with your rosebud of the week.
Sorry, I was laughing because I'm talking to one of my coworkers about cringy emojis, and the one that he just picked felt very random to me. I would have to go through and figure out which ones were cringy, but there's so many emojis. So
There's
it's
a
like,
lot of emojis.
Oh my God. Yeah. And I don't even have the latest phone or update. So I'm like behind, but anyway, wrong rosebud. How dare you? Anyway. Okay. So, I kind of struggled to figure out like what I really liked this week. So something came out today. Tiffany Stratton did an interview, and of course she was asked if she would be interested in changing her championship and like customizing it and making it pink. And she said, I mean, I'm sure she can't really confirm or deny if anything is happening right now, but she didn't shut it down. And she said, never say never. And she thinks that Pink would be like obviously very tiffy. And so that just got me very excited because I think we've talked about it on here before.
We have.
And I have a TikTok. I think it wasn't that TikTok, but it was one that got quite a bit of traction on our TikTok. Was somebody had made a what they think her championship should be, and I think that one's awesome. But then I also saw another one that was just reporting on her talking about it today. And it's like the strap was like baby pink. And then the jewels around the big W are like pink and white. But like baby pink and white. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I just immediately was thinking, if these are for sale at WrestleMania, I'm buying one immediately. Because
that
like
would be
so
See,
cool.
that's why they should do it. Exactly what you just said.
I
That's
know.
exactly
Well,
why they should do it, because people will buy it
and that's
easily.
the thing is like, you know, I have a Divas championship. It's a replica, but it's plastic. So it was like still like $200, but like, you know, it's not like the toy one. And I just think that the Divas title was just ugly because of the butterflies, but like it was kind of cute because it had the pink. So it would be cool if they would have a custom pink one for Tiffany that's not the standard, you know, that like the Divas title was, but like very tiffy. And that is why I think that the Money in the Bank briefcase like sold out so quickly, and it was because it was pink and it was cute. So I kind of hope that they will do it, because as I said, like we've gotten a couple customized titles for the men, but not for the women. So I would really love it if we could see that for Tiffany.
I want to see that for Tiffany.
Would you buy one? Would you buy one?
I would buy one for one of my nieces.
Well, it's $500 though, so I don't think
that's the issue. That's why I said I would.
If they had a plastic one.
Yeah. Plastic one, I'll buy both of them one.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, that would be cool. I feel like they would almost have to make like one like that because little girls would love it too, you know?
Exactly.
Because that's the thing is like, I'm not saying that they need to cater to the female fans or the overly girly female fans or something like that with stuff, but like it can be kind of hard to find that type of stuff that's more feminine at all, you know, with wrestling when it comes to like the t-shirts and just the merch in general. Like even if it is for a female superstar, it's still kind of masculine. So it's like it's special when you can have something like a customized belt that might have some more pink on it, or like I said, the Money in the Bank briefcase, like that was cute because it was a little bit more girly and you don't get to have that a lot. So I don't know, I'd be into it.
Just hold on here. I'm just tweeting out the show. And then I'm going to get to my Rosebud. My Rosebud being. I'm kind of torn because I had one thing in mind for my Rosebud, but I was listening to CVV today in his interview with Michelle McCool.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was seeing clips from that and I thought it was new. And then I was like, no, it's not new. But I'm glad to know. Yes, it is.
Because, yeah, they were supposed to, but they just released it. It was something we were talking about that I really enjoy. Oh, Michelle McCool said that she feels that she is no, that's not it. Because that's not like really that interview itself was really good, but that's not really my Rosebud. My Rosebud really is the twist at NXT. Because I'll get to my thoughts about AEW during the show, and this is where I will give my shout out to NXT. Is I did like the ending to NXT where they had Izzy Dame join Sean Spears' little faction. He's going on there. Because I don't hate Izzy Dame. I think there's potential for her. And not only that, Sean Spears needs to be more of a star in NXT. We need to putting him in bigger, like for a title. He needs to be fighting for a title. So by having his little faction, he's building up this darkness side. I'm a big fan of that because it's what we need. And it was something that NXT just continues to do, is endings like that. And I don't know if you saw the vignettes that are actually, the last one was pretty much our background, but it said Vengeance Day on it, and then the 4 silhouettes. Like, that's a good twist to make you want to watch Vengeance Day. Like, I want to watch Vengeance Day more now because of these little Easter eggs that we're getting.
Yeah.
So NXT as a whole is really going to be my rosebud.
Well, and they're going to be like on fire right now because it's Mania season. So even though they don't have them perform at Mania, they're like the pre-show to Mania because Stand and Deliver is on Saturday morning. So, or Saturday afternoon. So like
wake up.
It's and the last, I mean, almost every Stand and Deliver, pardon the pun, but delivers. Like it really is really good. And right now, I mean, they had the star power last year, but I think they have even more star power this year with who they've created during this past year, who they've signed in the past year. Like, there are a lot of really great matches that could happen on Saturday. And so that is going to make it, I think, a little bit more, even more worthy of watching every single week.
NXT last year, Stand and Deliver, was probably one of my favorite moments from last Mania trip.
Well, you're kind of biased though. It's because you liked where we were sitting. I mean, I think
it enhanced it. I mean, for God's sakes, you had a recliner, live WWE in front of you.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like it was just like a regular Raw where you're just like, it's Raw. Yeah. No, every match, pun intended, delivered.
Yeah.
And the funniest thing is, one of the most underrated matches on that card was Dijak, Obafemi, and Josh Briggs.
I know. Yeah.
That match was awesome.
That might have been like the one of the night, I think.
Easily.
Yeah. Which isn't easy to do when it's a triple threat too. You know, like
bigger guys like that.
Multi-man matches like that can get out of hand really quickly or be like really hard to pay attention to, or it can feel very slow, obviously, because one person's left out, you know? But they did a really great job. So, I mean, I feel like it almost probably was better than the main event, which, no disrespect to Trick Williams and Carmelo, but
everyone knew the outcome. That was the thing. Everyone, you knew Trick was going to whoop that Trick.
Yeah, exactly.
What's your lemon? What do we not like it?
So I saw some people talking about it on Twitter, and like, I agree, but I don't know. I kind of feel bad at the same time, but people are bringing up the US Championship and its fall to irrelevancy again. And we're still trying to figure out why they decided to take it off of LA Knight and put it on Shinsuke Nakamura. Like, we still haven't seen that payoff. And so I think, like, when you look at where the mid card is on SmackDown, it's like, okay, why did you take it off LA Knight, right? Even if we talked about it, we were like, okay, well, LA Knight was bigger than the US title. Agreed, but he's like still in between being like a mid-card champion and like going into the main event scene. You know what I mean? So it feels like he should have stayed champion, because we know he's not going to go after Cody. It's the same situation that he's been in when Roman was champion. It's like he's like being held back because that title is so locked down. So it's like he should have just stayed the US champion if you weren't going to really do anything with Shinsuke Nakamura. And so that's why I feel bad, just because I like Shinsuke Nakamura.
I know. But it is tough.
I think that it was a mistake, and we knew it at the time, right? Like, we knew, okay, this was weird. Why did they do this? But we haven't even seen, okay, well, maybe they had plans and this was going to be a feud, whatever. They haven't even done that. They like separated LA Knight completely from the US title and Nakamura. and he's not really been on TV or really been doing anything, so it just looks even worse. And I don't know, it's just it's frustrating because the US title has been a championship that was irrelevant, and then you felt like LA Knight brought prominence to it again, and now we're just like
Mhm.
back at square one where it's like nobody cares. I mean, they're kind of doing that with the
Yeah.
Intercontinental Championship, and I wouldn't say that has anything to do with Braun Breaker. It's because they took it off him, gave it to Jay for a month, put it back on him, and then have done nothing with him. So
Yeah, to me though, I see my thing is that I can see the bigger picture in that it feels like they're trying to build US title contenders before they just throw a random person from a number qualifying match at Shinsuke Nakamura. Like Nakamura needs someone to kind of attack in a way or,
mhm,
interact with. I wouldn't say attack, but like have an interaction with based on, what we see with Mello and Andrade, and I'm trying to think of other people on the SmackDown roster. Santos Escobar, that could be someone. Like they're trying to it seems like they're trying to get that to be the US title picture,
yeah.
but they just don't have a way to get there yet.
Well, I'm hoping that that they'll kind of do what they're doing with the tag titles, where it's like they're finally kind of making them relevant and for people to
Mhm.
care. It's like they need to do
Yeah.
that with the US title. It shouldn't I feel like it shouldn't be this difficult though. This isn't something that we should be able to consistently complain about. It shouldn't
Mhm.
be all of the effort is put on the WWE championship, the women's championship, and that's it. Like that's not how it should be. So and that was the concern with them introducing the women's mid-card championships too, because it was
Mhm.
they're barely doing really anything with the men's mid-card. Like how can I feel confident that they're going to do right by the women? And I feel like we're still kind of waiting for that. So I don't know, it's just kind of disappointing because I feel there are so many guys that are worthy of being in the mid-card scene and should be going for the title, but they just like have no interest, or they're just lazy. I don't know.
I'm with you. I want justice for the US title picture and Shinsuke Nakamura. My lemon of the week,
Mhm.
I'm going back and forth. I I do not I don't really have one.
I think
I
that's good
really
though.
don't this week. I think I don't really have one. Um, my lemons I'd say are more like fan related. I'm not a fan of Mercedes Monet. I'm on team Harley Cameron, like shit like that,
Yeah.
which to me is the best, I think a very good situation to be in as a wrestling fan. Because if you're just hating on the superstars themselves from watching, then they're doing a good job. They're doing a
Yeah.
good job creating a hateable bad guy or gal.
Yeah.
With Harley Cameron, they're doing a fantastic job of creating an underdog and, someone you want to root for and potentially have as a face of your division. And
Mhm.
you have potentially the women main eventing a show in AEW. So it's great. Like all shit's going well. I mean, I'm not even gonna mention all the great stuff about WWE because we do it already. But like, I mean, let's just go to the Wrestleverse. Like Ricky Starks,
Mm.
Sarah, is in WWE.
Finally.
Like
I feel like we
we have
have to
to,
say finally, you know.
yeah, finally,
Yeah.
Ricky Starks
But
has returned. Yeah, go.
well, because it feels like something we've been waiting for a long time. Not even just because it was like, okay, whenever he's done with AEW, he's definitely going to WWE. Like, everybody has been feeling that way for a while, especially when Cody left, I think. Um, but once he was like put on the back burner almost a year ago, where he's like not been on TV, then it was like, okay, he's WWE bound. It's just like when. And for most of this past year, Tony was not letting him leave, like wasn't cutting ties, was not doing anything. So I think it's pretty cool how they went about this, how they just gave him a mic, sent him out there and was like, all right, bro, like just go out there and talk. Like you don't even have to say who you are. Some people, and I'm not saying it's as iconic as this because I think you have to wait and see what happens. But I also feel like it's two different things. But people are saying it felt very much like Scott Hall showing up on WCW and like not even saying who he was or anything. It was like, you already know who I am and you know why I'm here.
It was very Scott Hall.
Yeah. And so it's like, that is pretty cool because they trusted him. They were like, you know, you haven't been on WWE television as Ricky Starks, but like we trust you and we know what you're going to be. And we know they rushed him coming to NXT because it's Mania season. So they definitely want him to be in a program in NXT so that he's on Stand and Deliver. And I'm just excited. And it was really cool also to see how many people in WWE were really excited for him. We saw CM Punk, Brandy Rhodes, Bailey, Jade Cargill. Like so many people were tweeting out that they were just excited for him, which I feel like is very telling, you know, like
very telling
how talented he is, how well liked and respected he is, but they also probably knew the situation that he was in and felt like he was always WWE bound. So I'm excited. And it looks like he's going to keep his name too. So.
No, he is. Yeah, I did want to bring that up before. I fell into the trap. Okay, because I saw something online of, you know, I forget what the name was they used because it doesn't matter at this point. But it was, you know, Ricky Stark's not going to go by. And I was like, this can't be real because you can't have a guy like Ricky Starks go into a different gimmick. That's not how this generation. This is not how this era is going.
Well, and I think we kind of talked about it. It was just all the legal issues that they had to get through. And that's why they
got to
couldn't
get
do it.
merch.
So, but he owns his name and stuff. So it's going to be Ricky Starks, which is cool because again, like, it just shows you that WWE fans are not all, you know, double WWE loyalists and that they just have their head in the WWE universe and that's it. Because if that were true, the NXT crowd would not have been chanting Ricky Starks, you know.
Oh,
like,
no, you can't train to Trill Withers and have after the crowd is chanting Ricky.
There's just there's no reason. So I'm really excited to see what they do with him. I'm also excited to see how long he's in NXT because he feels like a guy that doesn't need to be, but like be there long. But I also don't want them to just bring him up to the main roster for the sake of it because it's like, oh, he should be on the main roster. It's like, no, bring him up into something. Do not do him dirty like you've done with other people.
Well, I read that they didn't put him on the main roster to start because it's Mania season. A lot of their plans are maybe not etched in stone, but they have all the participants. You know what I mean? So it would feel forced if they put him in. NXT, it's so fluid down there. Shawn Michaels does a fantastic job of shifting around talent where things are hot and, you know, hot on the oven and others are cold. So,
well, and the men's division kind of needs that help right now. You know,
the men's division does need star power, unfortunately. That's why you do have A-Town Down Under facing off against Obafemi in a triple threat. You know, that's which it's another example of Shawn Michaels rehashing his old storylines because it's DX versus John Cena.
Oh yeah.
So like when you have, but back to the point is that when you have talent like A-Town Down Under facing your champion, it's a sign that you need to bring in more stars. So,
well, and it's possible that Ricky will be somebody that gets called up like during the draft, or he will be somebody that kind of bypasses that, you know, where they'll keep him in NXT for a little bit. And then when they feel like it's time to bring him up, they do, but he doesn't have to go through the draft process because it's like, okay, well, it's Ricky Starks, you know. I feel like they would kind of do the same with like Sean Spears or something. But I don't know. We'll see. I just think it's exciting because I think he's going to be like a great addition to WWE.
He's gonna be a fantastic addition. I can't wait. I'm so excited to see Ricky Starks in NXT. A lot of people are saying him versus Oba at Stand and Deliver. Make it happen.
Rims.
Like that would be amazing.
Yeah.
I want to see too if they're going to how much of his AEW theme they're going to keep. Like I understand it's not going to be, a carbon copy of it or the same one, but it's always interesting to see how different it is from the other promotion. Like look at Jade's. Like Jade's is basically the same thing with a WWE touch. Like it has that final WWE touch.
Well, if he wants it to be that similar, I'm sure they would try to figure it out, especially
100%.
because people have been allegedly expressing their unhappiness with Def Rebel. I can't imagine that Ricky is somebody who would be cool with getting Def Rebelled.
Would cook Def Rebel. You'd be like, this is not happening.
Well, and then you have to look at like
not
some of his best buddies in the company, CM Punk and Cody Rhodes, both have like legitimate songs. So I can't imagine he'd be like, yeah, I'm cool with like a garage band sounding Def Rebel song.
So bad.
Yeah.
Like they're so bad. I mean,
when random people that are just fans can create better theme songs on the internet, that's when you know it's like, oh, not good. Not good at all.
No. If AI can do it, it shouldn't be that
good.
Yeah, it's the hottest news. We'll talk about it because I got some feelings about this. I'll let you go off before I get mine, though. WrestleMania 42 will be taking place in the city of New Orleans at the Caesars Superdome. It was reported online today. Apparently, allegedly, it's been in the work for months, and they're going to announce it after Elimination Chamber.
Mm-hmm.
I think, or yeah.
It's like, at Mania.
Yeah, it's gonna be announced at one of the next two pay-per-views. So they just got out now, but it will be at the Caesars Superdome in New Orleans, which I'm not too happy with. Okay, I know it's gonna be awesome and yeah. But can New Orleans just chill out on hogging WrestleManias? It feels like they get one every few years.
They do.
Well, they do. It's a fact.
Yeah.
I spit fact.
Yeah.
And it's not fair because London was in the running. Indianapolis has that deal. There's Los Angeles. We could go back to California, but maybe not to Los Angeles. We can go back to Levi's. We could. I mean, we can't do stadium shows here in Boston, which is the biggest issue. But maybe
imagine a WrestleMania
April?
at Gillette.
That's what I'm saying. Like maybe a later April.
Well, they did it in Philly. They did it in Philly.
It was fucking cold though.
I know, but like I think it was really also like historically cold. Like I don't think it's normally that cold.
Yeah. Well, but I wouldn't have got my favorite sweatshirt if it wasn't too cold. Yeah. So look at it that way.
Well, I'm kind of wondering, like, because they're going back to a place that they've been before, what the other options were and why they are like, let's do New Orleans again. Like I kind of wonder why they're going back, because there are other places, like we talked about this the other day, about like Indianapolis is supposed to be getting a Mania in the next few years. Well, this is next year that's already pushed out. So it's like, okay, so does that mean Indy gets in 2027? I don't know. But
I also saw that, not to cut you off, but I did see that they are not thinking of WrestleMania in London or Saudi before 2028.
Well, and I'm wondering, they're going to probably do something like London is probably going to get something big. Like I would assume they might get like a big four. Like what if they got like SummerSlam, or what if they get War Games or something, like in the meantime, because they've teased it. It's not even just like, it's been a rumor online that London will get a Mania. It's like, no, they literally had John Cena come out in London and be like, oh, why don't we have a WrestleMania here? And then they met with like London officials and
Remember
like
the
teased it.
tiny,
Yeah,
the tiny
so
title.
it
The
feels
tiny
like
title.
it feels like, okay, no, they have to get something going eventually, because this isn't just internet random people talking about it. Like, you've hinted at it as well. And so I think that because they've had those conversations, I would like to think that they're going to get something in the meantime, like they could get a Money in the Bank even, or something.
Give them
I don't know.
Give them a Rumble. You know how electric that crowd would be for a Rumble?
I know, that would be good. Yeah. Especially if they might do 2-night rumbles next year. Remember? So like if you get a rumble, it's kind of like a mini Mania.
It is a mini Mania.
So it's like, I feel like if that is what you get while waiting for your Mania, you kind of can't complain, right? Like,
no.
I think people really normally will do like Mania is your favorite PLE, and then it's like the Rumble is a lot of people's like top 2.
It's me.
So
it's me.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Interchangeable, seriously. Next one up. All right, we talked about that. Yeah, let's stay with WWE before we get to AEW, because we're talking about Mania. Big shit's happening in Mania. Even a potential triple threat match between Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, and John Cena.
Yeah. So people have been talking about a triple threat between CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins, but the current rumor, at least according to WrestleVotes, is that WWE officials and whatever are leaning more towards a triple threat for the WWE Championship, and then that way Roman can go one-on-one with Seth Rollins, which I think makes the most sense anyway. And then the triple threat for the WWE Championship, I said that if it was going to be the Elimination Chamber, obviously is going to go after Cody. I said Punk was the best, but where do you then put Cena? Like, I know that people have been saying, oh, well, if it's Punk and Cody at Mania, then Cena can face like Logan Paul. And I'm like,
you got to keep last one. That's not for his last one.
And this is also a way for him to be in a match and not have it be like so focused on what he's doing, because obviously he's not going to be up to par with Cody and Punk, obviously, because they are wrestling full time and Cena is not. But I do think that, he should have like a high quality match for his last one. And I also think that having Cena and Punk in a match with Cody makes a lot more sense than just like throwing Punk in a match with Roman and Seth. I think more people are interested in a one-on-one between Roman and Seth than having the triple threat, which I know that you don't agree, but I think people would be more satisfied if this were the outcome instead. Like, if they're not gonna, if the WWE Championship is gonna have Punk in it, I think that you would prefer to see Punk for the WWE Championship than in a random triple threat for nothing.
Correct. Yeah, that's what I'm realizing with this Mania. And as much as I don't like the Roman Seth Punk triple threat, I'm not really the biggest fan of the Cena Punk Cody triple threat. But we're gonna see something along one of those two triple threats at Mania.
Yeah.
I would much rather see CM Punk, John Cena, Cody Rhodes, because Seth and Roman have their history and they can do more buildup with it.
Well, and it doesn't involve a championship.
It doesn't involve a championship, but you can do more with the buildup to it. And you don't have a worry about a loose end of CM Punk trying to tie in the connection. Like, it's a straight arrow where CM Punk, Cena, Cody for the main, for the title, and then that being the main event. Punk gets the main event of WrestleMania. Cena main events his last WrestleMania for the WWE Championship, potentially his 17th.
Yeah.
And then Cody is main eventing WrestleMania
and having to defend it
against
and defending the title against two of the greats. Yeah. So it's like there's a lot of
that's the money.
Well, that's a
That's
lot
it.
of story because then it's like, okay, like you said, Cena going for 17, Punk wanting to main event a WrestleMania and walk out the champion because he's walked in as the champion but never out. And Cody is like, okay, are we going to see a passing of the torch? Like, is he going to win? Is he going to be able to stop Punk and Cena? Is this like, there's so much there that I feel like even if they're all good guys, people are going to be so checked in, and it is the audience will be divvied up. Like, I know that we've talked about it where obviously when we're talking about like the biggest baby faces in the company, you don't want to divvy that up, but I think when it's Cody Rhodes, John Cena, and CM Punk, you're kind of okay with divvying that up, because
Yeah.
it's like those are die hard fan bases. That's not like and I'm not saying this in any way, but like it's not like a Jay Uso versus I don't know, another person that's like high. It's like or even like Jay Uso versus Cody Rhodes. Like everybody is going to probably be supporting Cody Rhodes simply because the fans for Cody are deeper than
Yeah,
this
that
the
would be, yeah,
fans of
there's
a
your example.
singular Jay Uso. So it's like that is when you don't want to do it, But in
Mhm.
this case, it's like no, that's money. And that's a really good, I think, like night 2 main event, and then also allows Roman to probably main event night 1.
I don't think Roman should main event
I don't
WrestleMania this year.
I don't disagree with you, but I don't think it matters. I think he will, because I'm telling you, like the reason they tried to keep the title on him for so long was because they wanted him in the history books. That was the only reason, and I think that they're gonna keep trying to do that. Like now that he's not champion, well, another record he can have is like the number of manias that he main events, and it feels like that's what they're going to do, especially because he's not champion anymore. But I do
I
think that him versus Seth, like it's possible that we get to it where they say it's a co-main event, right? That bullshit, so that it can still
Yeah, they're gonna
count
do
for
that
him.
bullshit.
But I think him versus Seth very easily could main event. Like I think that not just because of who's in it, but I feel like people could care enough about it that yeah, it does warrant the night 1 main event. But I think we'll have to see, because I think a women's match could potentially be like that. Like we if it,
That's what I was
if
about to
it
say. Like,
is
what women's match
Rhea
right
Bianca,
now? Like
potentially,
Rhea Bianca could. No, Rhea Bianca could main event night 1.
if Bianca turns heel, because that's a match that they're playing with fire. Because those are two women that are like so over with the crowd that it's like kind of risky for them to be like, let's put them against each other.
Yeah, but
So
but you can do that at WrestleMania.
well, I
If there's
still
a
think
time to do like any sort of both fandom superstar, like ginormous fandoms of superstar, you can do that type of match at WrestleMania.
well, I think it would be really interesting with Bianca being the heel, though. I mean, we've been saying that for so long that we wanted
She
to
was a
see a heel turn.
fantastic heel in NXT.
I think
Like
we need to
she
see it.
can. I want to see it. 'Cause
Well,
what
we
if?
thought that
But
it might because of the Jade
yeah, that's
situation.
really who the hell attacked Jade?
I don't know.
Who attacked
Well,
Jade?
I'm wondering if the reason they've put it off is like because she was injured. So it's like, is she not ready to
That's
return?
true.
And that's why that they've been putting it off. Or is it something where it's like, okay, we kind of have to wait until after Elimination Chamber to see the payoff? I don't know, because we already know Io Sky is not going to be in the Elimination Chamber. And when you look at the other people in the match, it feels like, okay, well, if they're not going to go with Liv, because it looks like Liv is going to be in the tag team scene, then the main person that people are going to want to see against Rhea at Mania is going to be Bianca. So, like, I mean, I don't know.
I
I
get
don't
it.
know.
I'm in. Maybe not for the peeps. Let's see some comments here. Does say that David says Gillette, I think, will get SummerSlam at some point. Biggest issue with Gillette, it's so out of the
Yeah.
way from Boston itself. There's a
Yeah.
train, but the traffic is horrible. Okay, you're right. It is out of the way from Boston, and it is out of the way from Boston. It's not the best travel there, especially Ubers.
Yeah.
Trying to get an Uber at Foxborough is the worst thing in the world. I had
Well, and
friends
I think
that had
that
a
that's what's going
I
to eliminate it, I think,
yeah.
from like a big four.
Yeah, I had friends that had to literally walk like 2 miles up the road to try to find Ubers, and After what we experienced last year, Rey Mysterio $5, Rey Mysterio Matt $5. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it again. But the train is good. I will say the commuter rail to Gillette is probably the best way to get to Foxborough from Boston, at least. And it's so easy. They give you a path from the stadium, from Patriot Place. The thing is, too, Patriot Place is its own mini city.
Yeah.
So that works in their advantage. But yeah, like, I mean, they have the hotels, you have surrounding like suburbs and whatnot. But the issue is you can only have WrestleMania there. Like, if you were to do a WWE World, that's in Boston, 35 minutes away.
Well, and that's why I'm saying that they won't do it. It's the same thing with SummerSlam. Like, they do somewhat of like an Access or WWE World with SummerSlam and stuff. So I don't think it's like with Royal Rumble. They do the same thing where you have meet and greets and stuff. Like, they're not going to do it at Gillette because there isn't something that's like right there, that makes it easy. Because transportation is so important in these things. That's why when we're in Vegas, we're definitely taking Uber. We're not doing taxis.
Shit.
Yeah, we're not doing taxis.
No, I live on Uber. Uber is the greatest, one of the top 5 things that was created for my life. I'm not even kidding. I took an Uber to prom. Fun fact.
Oh, Uber wasn't a thing when I went to prom. So
no, not when you went to prom.
Yeah. All right. Let's slow down.
All right.
Let's slow down.
Let's slow down. Let's slow down with well, we just got a little hot and heavy there, a little beefing, but not like this, Sara. This was terrifying, all right, and very awkward to watch. It was a little preview of WWE's newest show, Legends Future Greats, I think is the name of it, but LFG. It's going to be essentially a Tough Enough, but with Hall of Famers like Bubba Ray Dudley, The Undertaker, Mickey James, and there's one more I can't think of. Someone's going to tell me. And there was an incident between one of the contestants and Bubba Ray where they're getting into it. For the contestant went to go shake Bubba Ray's hand.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, jeez.
Oh, God. Oh, God. The contestant went to go shake Bubba Ray Dudley's hand, and Bubba Ray didn't do it. And then the kid pretty much crashed out, and Bubba Ray got into a little bit of words with him. Point is, the type of shit like this needs to end with the talk back. Like, I don't get this. I don't like it. I think, we're bringing him on. See what's popping. Don't talk back to future legends. They know what they're talking about. Yeah, he is probably an asshole a little bit. I mean, that's why he is where he is. But the man knows ball, and you shouldn't be getting into a screaming, a pissing contest with Bubba Ray Dudley. You just shouldn't. And let that be a lesson just in life. Just don't talk back like that. Like, that kid is getting roasted. So,
well, interestingly, people are having like mixed reactions to it because there's a lot of people that feel like Bubba was being like rude or disrespectful, and it's like, I understand if you are, I don't know, maybe like a younger fan or a newer fan to wrestling, you know what I mean? And so you don't get like the old school mentality and the way about things. And I'm not saying everything that they did in the old days was right, obviously, but I don't think that he's wrong with being like, with why he didn't want to shake his hand. I feel like it is being kind of petty of being like, I'm not going to shake your hand.
It is petty, but like
I understand the sentiment behind it of being like, I don't want to get to know you too much because like you could be here for 2 days. Like, why I don't want to get to know you on like a deeper level if like you're not going to be here. So that's the thing. And that's why it's like, I get what he's saying. Like, I'm not going to invest time into getting to know you or whatever, or even like making a friendship with you just to see you leave, or as we've seen before on Tough Enough and stuff in the past, like there were plenty of people that weren't really there for the right reasons or weren't really serious. And once they were off Tough Enough, they weren't wrestlers or anything. So again, why am I going to invest my time into getting to know you and whatever if like I don't even know your true intentions here or like whatever. And this, and again, as we said when we talked about this before we went live, like this guy is really on edge already.
Oh,
like
he's insecure. He's got issues.
There's something off there because
absolutely
you can feel disrespected by somebody and not react that way. So to me that feels like somebody who like has never dealt with any sort of problem in his life, because like I can't even tell you how many times when I worked in retail that I was disrespected by a coworker, by a boss, or by a customer, and like you can't act that way. And the fact that this guy is claiming that he wants to get into wrestling and that's how he's behaving, not only to Bubba Ray, but that's in front of Mickey James, that's in front of The Undertaker, like that's not a good look at all, bro, because like they'll remember that about you.
Booker T is the other one.
Booker T, all of them will remember that. That's not good at all. Like The Undertaker was just talking about the first interactions that he had with Ricky Starks. This is 10 plus years ago. You know what I mean? Like he didn't have to remember Ricky at all, but
no,
that's the impression that he had because he was respectful, because he spoke about, you know, approached him in the right way. This guy is not going to be remembered for the right reasons.
No.
So.
No, he will not be. All right. Boof. Yeah, let's talk about our guy. Oh, yeah. Should John Cena appear in TNA? Joe Hendry has teased it multiple times, most recently on Ariel Helwani's talk show. Sarah,
a real journalist.
I feel like it's inevitable. Like if there was something to happen with this partnership that would like first, let me back up here. If there was something outrageous for John Cena to do on his retirement tour, that is the most side quest of all side quests, is appearing in TNA to face off. Just face off. I agree with, I've heard Bully Ray say this, that just a face off is something. Well, that's what we need.
I don't know, was it in that interview where they talked about doing it for the TNA title at WrestleMania? Isn't that something that they talked about? Or I
don't know. That's okay. That's something out of.
Can you imagine WWE if they had the TNA title defended at Mania?
That would be huge for us. I mean, for TNA.
Not even it would be huge for Mania. It would be huge for TNA. It would be huge for Joe Hendry. It would be huge for John Cena. Like, I don't see it happening.
17 because it's 17 world titles.
Yeah, but still doesn't. I'm not on board with that, but I was like, that'd be cool. But in general, I think him appearing in TNA would be really cool, and I think we have to see some sort of interaction between him and Joe Hendry. Like, it feels like it has to happen. You know, I don't know in what capacity. Maybe he doesn't have, like, he has a match with him, or he doesn't. I don't know, but I feel like it has to happen. No, it could happen in NXT. Cena's gone down to NXT.
I don't care where it happens.
Yeah.
That'd be actually cool. It needs to happen in TNA. It needs to happen in TNA. That's like,
that would be cool.
Trainer Red, Cena is full time this year. We've said it multiple times in the show, but you're new here, so welcome. Cena is full time. He has 30 something dates, 33 dates to be exact, or 30, whatever. It doesn't matter. He's filming a movie right now. Right now, we don't need John Cena on our television screen, okay? We need to build up to Elimination Chamber. We need him on our television screens after Elimination Chamber in the actual build up to WrestleMania. Until then, we do not need him. And the full year, it's dates. He's going to be an active wrestler. Right now, you have to realize that this period we're in right now, the build up to Mania, everyone's an active wrestler. Like, don't worry about it.
Well, he's supposed to be doing like close to 40 dates. So I think at some point, like, he will be on shows like more often. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we see him more leading up to Mania, like on a weekly basis. I think it'll just depend. But I think this is his way of like committing more than he has, because like even if it is 36 dates and that's it, like that is kind of fuller time for him, because we've seen him come back for a month and then that was it. This is like, no, he's going to be periodically coming back. So I don't know. I get like some people are disappointed. In a way, I can feel that way too, or I could argue why. But I think like the fact that we're getting him as much as we're supposed to get him this year, and that he's probably going to be on every PLE, like it's really hard to be mad about it.
It's very hard to be mad about it. We have to be appreciative of.
Well, because this is the last. Yeah, it's the last year we're going to have him. So
last year.
I don't want to get like too picky.
And now it's time to talk AEW and Grand Slam. I already mentioned her already. But Harley Cameron needs to be launched to the moon. She needs to beat Mercedes Moné at Grand Slam and be on television weekly with the TBS Championship. She's so entertaining. Her rap last night, diss track, whatever, into a heartfelt promo was standing ovation worthy. It was incredible. Just absolutely incredible work. We need to see more of this.
I'm kind of like surprised in a way to see people rally around her so much, not in a bad way, but because like as someone who does not actively watch AEW, like the only time that I was really seeing anything about her, it was negative because like she's pretty green in the ring. And so, some of her matches have been a little bit of a tough watch, or she might have messed up here. And that's why, people are talking about her because it's like, well, look at how bad this was, whatever. So that's like all that I've really seen of her. But seeing that people are more excited about her now because they see how like entertaining she is, where they can kind of like maybe give her some grace in the ring or look past some of the things that she's not doing well in the ring is cool, because I think we need to see that a little bit more when somebody is newer, because they don't always get the opportunity to show you all that they can do. So if you're just basing it off of like, oh, well, it's kind of like with Maxine in WWE, like when people were being so mean because like, oh, her matches it's brutal to watch.
Yeah.
But it's like, we all knew that like
all in on it.
She was literally training. It was, first of all, it was part of her character. So
yeah,
like that doesn't make any sense. Oh, but just hit his head. But like she's super entertaining, even on her own, but with her group. And it's like, okay, so now you're seeing that with somebody like Harley Cameron, where you could kind of argue her and Maxine are very similar. So I don't know. I think it's interesting to see how wrestling fans can really change their mind like that, because it was like for a while it was like, oh, she sucks, why is she on TV, she should only be on Collision, to now it's like, oh my god, she's the most entertaining thing that's going on Dynamite. And it's like, okay, see, like this is what we're saying though. Like
every week she delivers. Like every week she does something that gets a reaction out of you. It's, you can brush off the in-ring ability at this time because that will come.
Yeah.
You can't teach character development, or you can, but not like her. Like she has an it factor that you can't teach. And that's something that they need to capitalize on and keep pushing.
Well, and the good thing is if the ring work doesn't get there, right? Because there is a chance that like it just doesn't.
There's always a chance.
She's got so much other like good things about her that can still make her a presence in professional wrestling. She could be a general manager. She could just be a manager. She can be some sort of presence anyway, which I think that that's not something that a lot of people can say, like making the best out of things. And she certainly can. Because I think people don't remember too, that like sometimes people just aren't going to be good at wrestling.
Yeah, like
and that's okay. Like that's okay, and they can do other things because they provide a different part of entertainment, you know.
Wrestling's all about enacting a Ryotion. Whoa,
A
that was
real
not
a
English.
Ryotion.
That was not English. So we're gonna move on from that nonsense and move on to this sort of nonsense. Because when one woman should be winning a title, two other women should be main eventing the whole damn show. Okay, Toni Storm, Mariah May for the AEW Women's Championship needs to be the main event of AEW Grand Slam. It just sounds too logical. It's the best story in wrestling, or it's the best story in AEW for the past 6 months. Like no other men's feud has been this great other than Swerve and Hangman. Like that's it. It was them, and then Mariah May and Toni Storm. They should be the ones to headline this because Jon Moxley isn't even defending the title on it. He's in a Brisbane brawl against Jay White and Cope. So I don't know.
Well, yeah, and I think that it's a match that has so much history to it that it makes sense.
So much history.
You know, because like it was kind of put on pause, and then we got the whole like, oh, Toni Storm is back, but like she's, you know,
No, she's the rookie.
Yeah. And so now that the story is like kicked off again, I feels like, yeah, this is an opportunity that you'd be missing out on if you didn't make it the main event.
You would be missing out so much. I mean, just it's been the best story to follow in AEW from start to finish.
Yeah.
You can't say that a lot about what's going on currently in AEW. More recent stuff has been awesome, but this has been going on for 6 months now. And it includes a Toni Storm sabbatical, we'll call it, or whatever. She leaves and then comes back as a whole new person and killing that role, and it tying into how Mariah played her. Like there's so many little twists and turns and little Easter eggs throughout it that it makes it more important than anything else in the company right now.
Yes, agreed. Sorry, Brady is not happy. So
yeah, Brady's like, what's that? Because we see Remy, but
I know
Brady's new.
I know, but you heard him though. He
oh
didn't.
My God!
This is the thing. Is
what happened?
Well, he doesn't like to be alone, and he doesn't like to be like trapped. So like when I bring him to the vet, and you know they have to like put them in like a holding cage until they can do whatever. Like anytime that he's had to be at an emergency vet or any sort of vet for a prolonged period of time, they will tell me, okay, you can come and get him at such and such time. Usually they call me hours before because he will not stop barking. Like it does not stop. He does not stop. And so because he lives in my room basically 24/7, I will, you know, when I leave my room, I leave him on my bed because he's sleeping, because he's almost 17. So he's like an old man. And he lets me know when he's ready, because he will sit on my bed and bark and bark and bark and bark until I come and get him. So I usually make sure that he can see me when I'm at my desk from my bed. He did not see me. So that's why he started barking, because he thought he was in here alone. So he was like, Mom, where are you, Mom? Mom, 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 Mama.
Where are you? Where?
Mom.
I need you. I need to be by you.
So I went and got him, but he's still not happy. So.
All right. Well, maybe you should turn him on to wrestling. Maybe he'll be a little more interested in the conversation.
Probably.
It's time for the 1, 2, 3 count.
No, what?
20 questions. Sara, think of a diva from.
I have one.
You have one? All right. I got one too.
Okay.
Oh, my own first?
You guess first, yeah.
All right, blonde or brunette?
Brunette.
Did they win a championship?
Yeah.
Did they have a manager?
Like known for a manager? No. Stop it.
No. They were known for a wrestler, but they had their own manager.
No.
Okay.
Stop it, Brady.
Okay. Did they wrestle
Stop it.
Did they? Oh, shit. SmackDown or Raw? Known for?
Not neither one. They were on both. Maybe more Raw. Maybe.
So not Victoria.
No.
Is it
Stop it.
Layla?
No. I would say Layla was more on SmackDown.
Okay.
That
what
was
I
the
thought.
height of like Lay Cool SmackDown.
All right. Were they known for wrestling? They were known for wrestling
Yes.
or being a manager.
Wrestling.
Brunette. Wrestling. Nope, not blonde. Candice
Nope.
Michelle?
No.
No, you said they wanted. No, Candice Michelle was women's champion. Fun fact.
Yeah.
All right. Is it Lita? Because I say Lita has red
No.
hair.
No.
Okay, good. What I do I that's a stupid question.
Yeah, I'm not gonna pick someone you don't know.
That's what I had that exact conversation with myself. Shit. Maria Kanellis.
No.
No. Shit. Did they wrestle? Did they wrestle in 2004?
Yes.
Oh. Molly Holly.
No.
Damn it. I was so excited.
Stop.
Melina? No, she didn't wrestle in 04. She came in 06.
Queen.
I am stumping. Did their I see, like, all my questions sound like bad. Like, because that era was just not the best.
Yeah.
Wrestling wise, but great for character development.
Mm-hmm. You're okay.
Dawn Marie.
No.
All right, I fucking give up. I have no idea.
Ivory.
I don't think she wrestled in 04.
Yes, she did. She was in WWE 2001 to 2005.
All right. Butter my biscuit.
Okay.
All right.
Is yours blonde?
No.
Oh, damn it. Brady, you're fine, dude. We're almost done. Were they a champion?
No.
They were never a champion.
They were never a champion.
And are they a brunette?
No.
They're a redhead?
Yes.
Maria?
Nope.
What? A redhead? I can only think of her. Oh. And she wrestled in this time period that you said, 2002 to 2008?
Yeah. She was in a championship match at WrestleMania. I'll give you that hint.
What?
Yeah, she was in this person was in a championship match at WrestleMania. Yes.
What the hell? Did they only work in WWE?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, well,
no one's got it.
No one? And like Eva was somebody, not that time.
No, not even Maria. Give up that.
Okay, well, for that time they went to TNA. Okay. Were they known? Did they mostly wrestle or manage?
Manage.
Oh, jeez.
But they were in a championship match at WrestleMania.
That girl, she was just, is it the one that was just released or isn't working there?
Yeah, you're good. Do you remember the name? You got it. You got it. It's on the tip of your tongue. Come on.
Chrissy Hemme.
There it is.
Okay. I'm like, I could
Here we
not
go.
think of. I'm like, wait a second. They just did it. What?
Yeah.
What's this? What's this
Two.
about? Sorry, it took me so long.
2. And then 3. The Island of Relevancy, or the Island, is being introduced.
You did have it.
You did have it. Good shit, Trippy Red. The Island is making its debut in WWE 2K25.
Stop it.
Similar to NBA's 2K My Player mode, where it's the open world. It's going to be an open world in WWE 2K for your My Career mode, where they have 5. You can do challenges, do different quests and whatnot on the island. You can buy clothes at different retail stores.
GTA for 2K.
It literally is. Yeah, it is. It is like GTA. And some wrestlers have their own like stores, like retail for like gimmick stuff, whatnot. But whatever you buy at those stores, you could and end up using for your own created player, whatnot, offline. So that's pretty cool. But I'm excited for this, Sarah, because this is what WWE needed. They needed a mode like this where you can take your wrestler and do stuff that's not just story.
Yeah.
Cutscene, story.
Well, because it gets boring. Like it's just so
boring.
It's very repetitive. Like even if the feuds and matches are different, it's still just like, because like that's all wrestling is, like when you watch the programming.
Yeah.
So I get why they are like, okay, well, that's what the game should be, but it's like video games need to be more than that. So if they can come up with some sort of creative way to add a little bit more fun to a wrestling game than just the like, like the GM mode, that's great, but like that gets boring after a while because you're still doing the same thing. So maybe this will be something that they'll continue to make in the games, or even build upon it and like add more, depending on how people react.
The showcase mode is basically what old WWE games were, like in the past few years, whatnot. Like that was basically the story mode, where now it's actually going back to that just bring it, shut your mouth feel, where you could run around. I don't know if you ever played SmackDown Shut Your Mouth, but you could go outside the arena, like backstage, like in the foyer where the fans are. And then you could go outside to New York City. You could go to WWE World and fight there. Like you could do stuff like that. It was awesome. That's part of the reason why I bought a PS2 again in college and bought that game. It didn't have that feel like the other games did. So now you bring that into WWE, you're going to get people to play. Brady, do you want to go to the island?
Woof.
Yes. Brady wants to join us on the Island of Relevancy in WWE 2K. I don't know if the bad girl's going to make it, Sarah. I want to bring nonsense. I might keep the bad gal for universe mode because I got a great idea cooking for that.
Okay.
That we got some ideas cooking with 2K25 because I want to get more involved in that. And I watch a lot of other YouTube channels that do it. BDE, New Gen Legacy, which is actually DPW, the wrestling promotion. It's the writers and creative from that. They have their own YouTube channel that do it. So do you think the WWE game should make a writer's mode where you could write storylines for the show?
I feel like that's pretty cool.
Yes, but yes, they should. The easy answer is yes.
I wouldn't be surprised if they don't want to, because they don't want you to see too much of what they do.
Yeah.
But I do think that is interesting because that goes like beyond, that goes beyond GM mode,
Yeah. I'm playing GM mode now and it's fucking hard. I got to start over again because I figured it out halfway through. I figured out how to play it and do well in it halfway through playing my first season. So I got to redo that in 2K25. It's so fun to book your own shows. I love it. You'd get wicked into it too, honestly. You would love GM mode. Seriously.
Maybe.
Get an Xbox. And then we can do they have online GM mode this year.
Pretty soon.
Maybe. Well, didn't you say your brother-in-law has PS5?
Yeah, so does my sister.
Yes. I think maybe we can do crossplay. We
Maybe.
can make this work. If we can do Battle of GMs, you and I would fucking kick your ass
Probably.
in GM mode.
Probably.
See, now, come on. You gotta have confidence, Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta have confidence. But enough of the confidence. Thank you for tuning into this edition of No Nights Off. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and bell notification to know every time we go live. I think we'll be back on Saturday. Valentine's Day is tomorrow.
Yes.
So it will be out then and not Saturday. So, and because Saturday we got Vengeance Day, right? It's NXT Vengeance Day, right? Not just Vengeance.
I believe so.
Okay. We got NXT Vengeance Day, and then after the All-Star festivities, we have AEW Grand Slam, which is going to be awesome. I'm very excited to watch that. And low-key be snowed in, I think, because that's what we're getting. So,
jelly.
Yeah, you got the hot sun.
Yeah.
It's cacti. Crazy. Follow us on TikTok at No Nights Off Show. Hit that subscribe button, please. Please hit that subscribe button and bell notification to know every time we go live. And also follow us on all our socials down below. Please. That's all I got. Thank you guys for tuning in. God bless. Remember that you can do it. All you got to do is try. We will see you on Saturday.